The hashtag is Robin Minds, hashtag Robin Minds. Robin doesn't have the G. I have Olalekan Fadeyi in the house now, so you're on time to join us. You probably don't know the name, but you know Azadus. Welcome on the show.
Hello, my brother.
How you doing?
I'd like to ask a question.
Okay.
Interesting. Just saw that video now and you laughed. What's the reason for that laughter?
Like how things have changed. How things have changed.
What? Just tell me what those things are.
Okay, for instance, then you must have
from a bingo that was bulldog.
Number one, that was the biggest video in the country at the time. Now today, I don't know what it is like for you to release it. I understand you had an album out last year.
Yeah.
I'm yet to see a video from it, and then also looking at the video, looking at you, you're a much bigger person now. That other person was much smaller. So things have changed in many ways.
You shall not remain the same.
Amen. So, in terms of you shall not remain the same,
yes.
What have you been up to over these years?
Azadus has been up to a lot of stuff. I have a mobile app. I've been doing a lot of writing for writing stories for movies. I have been into farming and other stuff. And most definitely, I've been taking care of family.
So you basically stopped focusing on music?
Just for a minute.
So are you moving back into music now?
Yeah, like you rightly said, I released an album. That was 2 years ago, not last year.
Okay.
And, you know, the music industry is no longer like it used to be. You know, the industry is, you know, way bigger than it used to be now. You know, it was all about your talent. But now, aside from your talent, you'll need a whole lot of investment before you can get the level of acceptance and awareness you need.
Why are you finding it difficult to fit into that new reality?
Because of the investment, the capital is crazy. You need a whole lot of money to.
When you were at the time, I think the biggest artist in the country, maybe arguably, at least arguably.
You said that, and I can't argue with you.
So did it not come with some money at the time?
Of course it did, but you won't compare the kind of money we got then with the kind of money you see these days. Then we'd do a show, and what you get from it would be maybe 200 or 300,000. And there are like 1,000,000,001 lions out there waiting to share from that money.
So the money wasn't invested in a way that it could continue to perpetuate itself and grow.
We did a little bit of investment here and there, but I mean, you can't compare, an investment of 300,000 with 300 million.
In 2004?
2004, my last album with. I released my last album with Kenny's Music. You know what I mean? So don't forget that, in Africa, we have, a lot of people who depend on, just one person. So when what is coming in is not as much, you're likely not to have any, savings.
They say hindsight is 20/20. Like when you look backwards, you see things much clearer. What would you have done differently if you had a chance to go back to the past, to those days?
What I probably would have done differently would be shoot more videos.
Shoot more videos?
Yeah.
What would you have done differently in terms of money management?
Taking me back means taking, I won't be going back without my age. Now I see clearer. Now I'm more responsible.
So use the wisdom of today.
Yeah.
Use the things you've seen happen over these years.
A guy that young, a guy that young, seeing money for the first time, probably would, spend the money, lavish money, the way I did, the way most of my contemporaries did. So you must do those things, and you must also know the right time to stop them.
So did you know the right time to stop them? Did you know when to stop lavishing money?
Yeah, of course.
At what point did you stop, and what made you stop?
At the time, you know, family set in, reality also came with it. And
was it the time when the money was not coming as it used to?
You this guy, you can ask questions. This guy. Yes, you know, when you stop having money, then you have
start to
sense.
think better.
Sense will come.
Which is easier to, from your perspective now, is it to finally break out and be known, or to, which is harder actually, to finally break out, or to break out, sort of disappear from the scene and come back again? Which is harder? I would think that comeback is much harder, but you would know better. You've been at both ends.
No, I don't think so. Either way, what you need would be money, not little money. Good
Do you think
money.
it's really money? Because I have a number of friends that have quite some money and they haven't broken out.
You see, having money is on one hand, and knowing what to do
With it
at the right time is on the other hand.
So
having money and knowing what to do with that money is the most. It's what you need. What any businessman needs.
So, if money is the general reality on both sides.
Not just money.
Okay.
Money and knowing what to do with that money.
Okay, I'd leave that point. What do you think, if you had the powers, if you were like the head of some musical organization that ran the industry, what do you think should change to create a more equal space, a more democratized space for new artists especially?
Are you sure you want me to answer this question?
No, you should. Let's, because you've been there, you've done that, you've seen it from the beginning.
Finish now.
No, you should talk. You've been there, you've done that.
See, the industry would need people like you, on-air personalities, to promote good works without bias, without expecting,
something in return.
Rub my hand, I rub your hand. Do you understand?
Is that what they call payola?
That's payola. And that's what is basically destroying the industry. But are we meant to blame the OAPs alone? No. We should also, reach out to the owners of TV stations and radio stations. If you pay your presenters well, if they have, those things that they should have, they won't ask an artist for stipends. They won't ask, an artist to give them something before they get airplay.
What if artists decide not to? What if there's a collection of artists that say we're not paying? Because they still have to, they need your content.
They won't get airplay.
No, if you all come together as a society and say we refuse to pay.
That's quite impossible because, there are some people in the industry who just want to be popular. They are not there because they have the talent. They're just there because they want people to see them in the house. I mean, at home and abroad. You know what I mean? So those people won't have that kind of patience. I want to be known. I want to go on the street and people hailing me and all of that. They would, pay anything. God knows where they get, this monies from. They'll pay OAPs, pay DJs to get airplay. While you are chilling, trying to do the right thing for the generation, coming, you'll just be wasting away. And, at the end of the day, excuse me, the generation coming will see you and disrespect you for trying to, fight their battle.
Because they don't understand where you're coming from.
They don't understand. They don't even want to understand.
On the other side, how does it make you feel to know that your music is only remembered for throwbacks, principally? When they want to throw it in is when they say retro.
I think it's a good thing. At least you've been able to do something that, people remember you for. You've been able to do something positive. You've been able to, you are reminded of, the kind of happiness, the kind of lives you changed. I've been to several places, meeting people will tell me, your music, man, you is the one. I use that toast woman. Oh God, you know, that gives me a lot of satisfaction.
Nostalgia is a beautiful thing because it makes you feel very good for what you've done.
Yeah.
So where is the place for excitement for the future? What are you looking at for the future?
The future is quite bright. The week coming by sometimes this week, my new video will be coming out, and I don't want to, you know, let the cat out of the bag, telling as regards to where I shot the video, because those guys, they misbehaved, you know. Just
People already know then.
It could be a jiggle.
Okay, let's continue.
So, you know, the video is coming out.
Was titled what?
It's titled Like This.
Okay.
You know, there is this beautiful girl.
Who directed it?
Some guy there.
Okay.
I don't want to mention the guy's name. You know, there's this girl who fell in love with Azadus, and I kept telling her, see, Azadus, I am a bad guy. But she said she likes me like that.
That's out in 2 days.
In 2-3 days, yeah.
Okay. Festac used to be a big deal. I mean, it's still a big deal, generally speaking, but in terms of churning out artists and talents, it was like it was a factory. These days, it doesn't seem to be the case. What has changed?
Because most guys have moved to the island. And, you know, it still boils down to the same old story. A lot of guys, a lot of talents here and there, but, you know, after spending crazy funds, you know, producing your stuff, and then with your excitement, you take it to a radio station or a TV station, and they're asking you to go and bring your mother's head. Do you understand what I'm saying? I mean, it's quite disappointing. But like I said earlier, you can't, you know, put all the blame on the OAPs if they are well paid, you know, and their future is well taken care of. You know, they won't do that. They won't ask us for it.
And the other thing is the sound has evolved. It continues to change.
Yeah.
Are you going to change your sound to be able to meet up with the current sound, or you're going to continue to do the same sound from the past and hope that people like it
You know,
again?
it's not about, you know, getting a track or, you know, a piece of music. It's not just about the artist. It has to do with a producer, an engineer, and then the artist. So the producer will do his job, and based on his production, you put your music.
Yeah, but sometimes I know artists have required for a particular sound.
I don't do that. I just allow the guy do his thing.
Okay. So when you look back at...
Sometimes there is nothing wrong with, you know, getting some sort of inspiration through some other, you know, someone's, you know, hit. Take for instance, there is Davido with his, give me a Davido song. Or,
Gobe?
Say that again?
Gobe, see Gobe.
Gobe. So there is, you know, a production accompanying that song. You want to, sometimes subconsciously, you do a song that would fit into that, you know, the genre of that production. And then you ask your producer, can you give me something, you know, not too far from that?
So amongst the new guys, is there anyone that excites you that you maybe like to do a collaboration?
Davido is, you know, he has money, and fortunately for him,
Does he have talent?
Of course he's got talent.
Yeah, I needed to ask because he said
crazy talent. He's got crazy talent. And, you know, the talent wasn't this rich when he just started. But after a while, you know, he kept working on himself. He didn't just look at the money. It wasn't inspired by the money. It was inspired by the zeal, you know, to do something greater than, you know, the last thing he did. You know, and that's why, I mean, that's why he's gone this far.
Would you agree that your genre of music has become irrelevant to what the audience is interested in today?
No, not really. You know, there is no genre of music that is obsolete. You know, any genre of music would have to do with, you know, the producer's creativity.
So do you feel, I haven't said that, do you think that you have the I shouldn't say capacity because obviously you've proven yourself, but do you think your strategy and your tactics are good enough to compete in this industry now?
No, people who are close to me, call me the musician's musician.
That's your friends. Friends always say good things about us, has to be said.
Yes, fortunately for me, I do not have friends who send me. They just like my music, and they tell me the truth at all times. Mr. Dayo Igure, that one will tell me, say, my friend, go and dump that thing, or go and work on that stuff. You know what I mean? So they will tell me, the truth, and I take it in, good faith and work on stuff.
You used to be with the Kenny's Music.
Yeah.
Are you with another label now, or you're doing your own thing?
No, I used to be with Kenny's Music. I'm still with Kenny's Music. Okay. I would always be with Kenny's Music.
Because how long is your contract?
That was a 3 years contract, but I'm still with Kenny's Music because, okay, let's say Baba Keke, because each time I record a tune, it has to tell me to release it or calm down. So
do you still have a contract with Kenny's Music?
No, I do not.
So it's just like based on a bond friendship kind of a thing?
He's my boss now. Once a boss is always your boss.
So this xenophobia thing, I don't know, it's caused a lot of issues amongst celebrities and the likes. Have you been able to voice your opinion on the issue?
The issue is the South African government have not still been able to, they have not been able to tackle whatever is. Their problem is they have a lot of illiterates. Most of their guys are illiterates, and they don't like to work. So if they are able to, sort that angle out, then, the xenophobia issue would be a thing of the past.
If I was starting out today as an artist, what are the pitfalls I must avoid?
You must be loyal, you have to be confident, you have to be God-fearing, and don't let people see you as the rave of the moment. Let people understand that you have more than this talent they are seeing at the moment. So it also means that you need to continue working.
I know you used to be close to the Plantation Boys. Blackface, Two-Face.
Still very close, yeah.
No, nice. So, Blackface just released his own version of African Queen. And then we know that African Queen, as released by Two-Face, is a classic. What do you say to that?
It's a good thing. Blackface has always been a talented guy. There's nothing wrong. He had his fingerprints all over Two-Face's African Queen. And I'm certain this one would also do well.
Yeah, because since he
released... this guy will put me for a while now.
No, since he released it, and because I've been paying attention to it, since he released it, it's basically primarily been, this is unnecessary. This is a classic. You shouldn't have even bothered. Comments like that. So because you mentioned your friends always tell you the truth. Are you able to speak to the truth to the fact that we have a classic on the table and then someone releases something that doesn't seem to match up?
Doesn't seem to match up.
You just said that. No, I said...
You just said that. That didn't come from me. Because as soon as I'm out of this studio, I know nothing to come.
Sim is not an absolute. It means maybe not, maybe yes. I don't know. But thank you so much. It's been a great time.
Thank you for saving my life.
I'm looking forward to your next single and your video.
Yeah,
I wish you all the best.
Thank you so much. It's called Like This.
Like This.
And I'll give you a copy.
I'm looking forward to it.
You can blast.
We shall do that. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Viewers, it's been Rubbing Minds, of course. We still have an extra segment to go. I was just discussing with Azadus. He's had a lot to say about the past and, of course, the future.